Welcome to
Kingdom Love Unlocked,
where we help you get to forever on purpose. I'm Nick Raines, licensed therapist, dating coach, and author.
And I'm Tiffany Renee, international speaker, life and dating coach, and author. Today's conversation is a pretty sensitive topic, but it's necessary. Today we're talking about divorce, not from a place of blame or bitterness, but from a place of healing and restoration.
Yeah, let's be clear. We don't want to bash, expose, or dishonor anyone from our past. We take full responsibility for our healing journey. This conversation is about growth.
So we're going to be asking each other several questions just about our journeys, because we have both been divorced. So that's something great that y'all get. You get the expertise of what we do for a living, our careers and everything. But we've also gone through a lot of these things ourselves, right? So you got experience plus expertise. So I'm going to start off by asking you a question.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What season of your life were you in when you entered into marriage?
That's a great question. I was actually on my abstinence journey. I've been abstinent for 5 years.
Wow.
And I was making sure I didn't have any soul ties or any other baggage I could be taking into my potential wife.
Oh, that's really good. Wow. I can't honestly say that for myself. I would say that since I've been married twice, so for my first marriage, I was definitely in a place of being abstinent, trying to live holy and start to walk out the calling and purpose God has for my life. But the second time, I was not healed and I was not ready. So I was not ready for marriage in the second time. I can admit that.
I thank you for sharing that and being transparent.
Thank you. All right, we're going to keep the questions rolling, guys.
I want to ask you a question, Tiffany. What did marriage reveal about yourself that you didn't see or know before?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say how important leadership is for me in every aspect, not just I'm the head of the household, I'm the provider, but also spiritual leadership. Because I just remember going through certain things and feeling alone because I'm a seer, so I was seeing things in the spirit, and it was hard for somebody at the time that doesn't understand that gift. I was still learning it myself to be able to help and show up as a leader in that way. But just a lot of times, leadership overall, I think I speak for a lot of women when I say, when you don't have a good leader in the home, it makes us feel unsafe. And so I realize that is something I need. I find security when I'm with a leader. He knows the plan. He has a vision for where we're going. He has a vision for us as well as his life.
Right.
And then that helps me determine, okay, I like the vision he has for his life. I can see myself. I'm in alignment. We're both going the same place. So I realize how important leadership, I need that.
I like that.
How about you?
For me, I realized that I really value words of affirmation and also acknowledgement, because it motivated me to be a better husband and also a better person.
So words of affirmation, that's your thing. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, Tiffany, how did the end of your marriage impact you internally, emotionally, and spiritually and mentally?
Many ways. Let me keep it brief. I would say that I felt like a failure, especially the second time, because it's just like, oh, this is your second divorce. Something's wrong with you. What's wrong with you? You know, I felt like a failure. I felt like I let my kids down. I felt a lot of guilt and shame. I isolated myself, so that didn't help. I was very quiet about what was going on. Spiritually, I was upset with God, so I dealt with that. I'm trying to live right. I'm trying to do these things, and it's not working out for me. What's going on? This is your fault. Even though I was not perfect. I did not enter in, especially all the right ways, but I still blamed it on God. I guess that was the easiest thing to do at the time. And so it did impact me spiritually. I went from being a youth pastor to being in the club on weekends, every weekend. I was on the chair.
Kind of up and down.
So I would say also trying to figure out who I was. I lost my identity, and I didn't know who Tiffany was outside of being a wife and mother.
Wow.
So that's how it impacted me.
Right.
How about you?
Yeah, I felt the sense of guilt, and I also felt like disappointment that I let a lot of people down, and I also felt helpless as well.
Oh, you talk about that more. What made you feel helpless?
Because I felt like I've done everything I knew to do to help the marriage, and it still wasn't getting the results that I would like.
Thank you for that transparency.
Yes. So divorce is very hard, right, for a lot of people in the community. Miles Monroe even said that divorce can be worse than physical death, right? If you think about it, because that person, even though you may divorce them, they keep resurrecting somewhere else in the grocery store. If you live in the same city, you keep seeing that person, right? So it's almost kind of hard to get closure on that situation.
Yeah. I mean, because everything has to change. Once you get divorced, you're separating things that you did together. You have to learn how to live on your own again. It's a huge transition. It's very hard. So while we're talking about death, comparing divorce to death, it's because there's a lot of grief associated with it, right? So I want to ask, what was the grieving process for you after divorce? What did that look like for you?
I went through therapy, had a lot of people praying for me. I really, really dug into my community. What I mean by that, I really immersed myself in my community. My coping skills, I really kind of multiplied them because I knew divorce causes so much emotional withdrawal that I had to kind of double up on my self-care. So that's kind of how I dealt with it, because I had to keep a certain baseline. Also, being a therapist, I had to show up for my clients. So it was every day of continual prayer, really leaning on my community, having conversations with people, and really being intentional about self-care and my coping skills.
That's good.
What was your grieving process like after divorce?
Oh, I didn't grieve for a while. I think I just went straight into survival mode, and I'm like, I got these kids. I got to figure out how to go from dual income household to single income household. And so I had to rearrange bills and keep a roof over our heads. And I just went into survival mode and kind of coped with things by hanging out. And I was not focused on my healing. I did not go to therapy. I mean, I talked to people. I had friends to talk to, but at the time, I was just in survival mode.
Wow.
And then once I got to a place where I was like, okay, God, I'm going to listen now. Then I went to therapy. Then I started really doing the work and everything like that. Because like you said, you're a therapist. I was working with clients as well, and I needed to get myself together. But immediately, my first reaction was survival mode. I got to do what I got to do to take care of everything, make sure everything's straight. And then I focus on healing.
Which makes sense, Tiffany, because when it comes to the grieving process, it's not fun.
No.
And it's also uncomfortable. So a lot of times we may suppress it. And I'm glad, Jackie said, you listened to God and you were able to focus and intentionally grieve, which that is important. Grief is not something you can actually circumvent or go around. You have to go through grief. You have to go through it and process it. So I'm glad you actually came back. It's like, all right, Lord, I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to go through it with you.
Yeah, it changed my life.
Yes.
It changed my life. What are some of the things that you had to work through during your time in therapy?
Rejection was a big one. And also feeling like that I actually failed in that area. So that was big that I had to kind of work through. And why I went through what I went through. You know, that I wasn't exempt from that. Being a therapist, being a dating coach, being an author also as well, that I wasn't exempt from this. That was hard for me to get through. I felt like I should know better. I felt like it was something I could have done.
That was really good. How have you been able to manage the opinions of others after your divorce?
That's a good question. So I had to really understand that divorce affects the community. And being a licensed therapist, a dating coach that promotes healthy relationships, I really had to take in consideration the perspective of others. Also allowing them to transition about what happened. But also I'm a private person at the same time. So having that balance of trying to cover the marriage and cover the person I was with, that was kind of difficult for me. And I know I probably disappointed a lot of people in that community.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
For me, it was very, very difficult, extremely difficult. I actually felt very traumatized by the opinions of others. Again, it was my second marriage that failed, so everyone's looking at me, and I'm isolating myself to cope with what was going on. That was my fight or flight, and I just wasn't, I didn't want to share. I couldn't share what was the last straw, what finally made me leave. I couldn't, I just was focused on, I need to make sure I can take care of these kids and all of that. And so there was another narrative that was being spread. And because I wasn't saying anything, people kind of leaned more into that. And I felt very hurt when I did finally start coming out. It was hard for people to believe. It was hard for people to transition. And I felt re-victimized. I felt very alone. We had a lot of friend circles that chose sides or backed up and didn't want anything to do with it. And so it was a huge lack of support for me. And especially when it got a few close people to me, they didn't really believe that I was going through the verbal and physical abuse that I was going through. And I'm not going to debate, and so just that victimization, just feeling very alone. So it deeply impacted me. But then once I healed and I left it in God's hands, it didn't affect me anymore. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I know the truth. The people that truly love me and are close to me that I actually talk to, they know the truth. And at the end of the day, God is my vindicator. He saw everything. Right? And so I'm good.
That's good. Wow, that's powerful. Tiffany, what was dating like after divorce?
Oh, it was terrible. Because, like I said, I was focused on, I was in survival mode. I was not worried about healing. And so there's a cycle that you go in when you do not heal from your past relationship that you just remain in because you keep choosing the same person, the same spirit, the same, it gets pretty deep. And so I did not do that work. And when I was looking at potential partners, potential mates, it was from an unhealed perspective, a blurry lens, you know what I mean? So I'm picking based off of who knows anything, like just, you know what I mean? So I was just choosing and hoping for the best because I always have been marriage minded. I wanted just my forever person. I just wanted one person. But the people I was picking, they didn't have that same testimony. They didn't have that same story, that same vision for their life. And so that's on me because my picker was off. I'm choosing these people. And so it wasn't until I took my healing journey very seriously and got intentional and was like, okay, God, I think I'm going to try it your way this time because I've been doing it my way and we ain't getting too far. So I'm going to try it your way. I'm going to be abstinent. I'm going to completely heal inside and out. I'm going to focus on my purpose on this earth, not so focused on someone being with somebody, being in a relationship. Because sometimes you can idolize that and find your worth and identity with just being with somebody. So I had to learn how to be alone, to heal, and to focus on who God made me to be. So once I did that, oh my gosh, then my dating life changed, right? So me and God got together. I wrote down a list of the things that I decided. The list. It's not a, it's a good list. Characters.
It ain't one of them CVS receipts. Like one of them.
No, it's not too bad.
Okay, all right, okay.
And that didn't have things on like, oh, he got to be 6 feet. He got to make this. No, it was characteristics. Does the way this man loved me mirror the way God loves me? Is he a man of God? Is he a worshiper?
Yes.
Can he cover me in prayer?
Yes.
Does he make impulsive decisions? Or is he a thinker? Is he wise? Those things. And it was easier for me to point somebody out, because it's just like somebody is approaching me, they're interested in me. I look at my list and I look at them. If it don't line up, this ain't gonna work. We're not going to the same place. And also being abstinent helped me to really see things from a clear lens. Like, absolutely, I'm not distracted by how pleasured I'm being to not make good decisions.
Right. No blurred visions. I like that.
So, how about you?
So for me, I continued on my abstinence journey. I'm still abstinent to this day because I did not want to be led by the flesh, especially come out of divorce. So I want to be God-led. So it was really just continuing to pursue God, I don't know, in a way, maybe I never pursued God before, just really focus on him. But I felt like I needed to stay abstinent to do that. And so that's what it's been for me. It's been good.
Okay. I agree.
Yeah. Turned out well.
Yes, it did. And we'll definitely be sharing more about our story in the future. So y'all have to stay tuned.
Yes.
But next question. What do you wish people understood about divorce that oftentimes goes unspoken?
So being in a church community, we understand that God hates divorce. But I also believe God hates the things that causes divorce. And sometimes divorce is not just black and white. It's a lot more nuances to it.
That's good. I always say, and I've heard this, that God hates divorce, but he loves the divorcee, the person that's getting divorced. He still loves both parties. He's still the father of both parties, right? And I think I want, especially women, to know that it's not the end. That God is a restorer. He will do a new thing. I think that it's important that we are intentional about our healing. But what I don't, because divorce feels like death a lot of times, some people just stay there. I'm divorced. I'm never doing marriage again. I'm just done. So I want people to know that God is a restorer. He will give you back 7 times what you lost. I just believe that just because you got divorced, it doesn't mean it's the end for you. There's still a work for you to do in the kingdom. Absolutely. God still has purpose and use for you. You're still lovable.
Yes.
So
I love that. God does have a work still for you. I think the purpose really doesn't change as much, and God still loves you. And I feel like God sees you through this as well. God doesn't want us hurt. He don't want us sad. So I believe God is just, he loved you through it.
That's good. And I mean, we go through things and we grow from it.
Yes.
So how can this major traumatic event, how can this be used for God's glory? There's purpose in everything.
I agree. So Tiffany, now that you've healed, what does restoration look like for you?
Oh my gosh, it's such a sense of freedom, just happiness. I'm just excited about what God's been doing in my life. I mean, once I healed my whole life changed. So it's just overwhelming happiness, more intention about God's purpose for my life, more intention about, more passion to help others. Once you get through a hurdle in your life, going back, hey y'all, come here, I got to play. I know it works. Let me help you. Like, I love doing that. So
that's awesome.
Just happiness.
Yes. Yes.
How about for you?
For me, restoration feels like freedom, joy. Some dreams that I may have had on the shelf, took them off the shelf and pursuing them now. Just really I don't know, just freedom to do whatever I want to do. Feel good about that. And just this relentless pursuit for God and what he wants to do in my life.
I love that. Relentless pursuit. Okay. All right. We want to leave you with a few reminders today. Divorce does not cancel your calling.
And it does not erase your worth.
And it does not disqualify you from kingdom love. God is a restorer.
Yes.
God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you can
ever ask or think.
Amen.
Amen.
So if this resonated with you all today, we want you to follow us at Kingdom Love Unlocked. We're going to be doing a lot more videos just like this, sharing things that we've gone through, but also giving you expert advice. Right? So we're excited for you to be with us on this journey.
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll see y'all later.